Hey, Mike with Mike's Bags, and today I am reviewing the Psycho R by Ultra Cornhole. This is a bag I have gotten a ton of questions about, and it's because of Ultra. In fact, I'm going to take a moment and go a little bit of a rant here. I'll try to make this quick and short, but Ultra, when they released this bag, they released no information whatsoever about the bag, which is kind of a big, it's a big frustration. Like, I had no intention of buying this bag. I haven't been the biggest fan of Ultra over the last 8 months to a year. They've made some decisions as a company that I just don't agree with. They've basically give the middle finger to the consumers and say, we don't really care about you. We're just going to do what we want, and you're going to deal with it. And they feel like if they put their name on the bags, that people are going to buy it. And to some degree, people do. And I think that's what happened here is they just said, we're going to put this bag out. We're not going to tell you anything about it, and we're going to expect you to buy it. And it's a little frustrating because I've had a ton of you sending me questions when they first released. Hey, what's the carpet on that? Hey, what's the speeds on that? Hey, what do you know about the Psycho R? I knew nothing. I knew that they said to put a picture of it. Ultra did on the Facebook page. But that was it. It was hard to really tell. And based on their naming system, when they use these letters, like, again, I hate Ultra's naming system. When they say Psycho R, you feel like, okay, it's going to be the Psycho Fast Side paired with that Viper R, Widow R carpet material. No, it's not. You know, I mean, I don't even know what the R really means in relation to all these bags, because people have told me the R means it's a carpet bag, but that's not true because the Mojo is a carpet bag. It's not Mojo R. So there's no consistency with the naming. I hate the letters. It's just being lazy the way they name the bags. I hate the fact that they didn't tell us anything. As a consumer, I don't want to go in and just blindly buy a product just because the company's name on it. I want to know what I'm buying to be confident it's something that I'm going to like. And Ultra sells, Ultra on their post, when they posted it and said, hey, we're going to release this bag, they made a comment down below in that post themselves. And I should have pulled it. I should have read it for word for word, and I'm not. But it made a comment basically referencing that we're going to eventually take a set of bags, break them in, and then go do some testing and give you some more information. Meaning they're releasing the bags. They haven't even broke a set of bags and then thrown them. And this is a company that sells a 1-hour break-in kit. And tell me no one in the company has the time to break a set of bags in and go throw them to get an idea how the bags play, get an idea of speeds, give us some information. Ultra has over 40-some ACL pros, I believe, that they sponsor. You can't just send a few sets out, a few of those, say, hey, test these bags out, give me some feedback on speeds, playability, stuff like that. But they just didn't bother to take the time. They just didn't feel like they needed to. And as a consumer, it just irritates the crap out of me that they don't care enough to provide this information. So anyway, that's the reason why I bought these bags, because they gave us no information. You guys were asking me. I felt like I had to go get a set to give you the information you want. I bought a set. I didn't want to, but I did. So anyway, let's go ahead and dive in. Let's break down these Psycho Rs. Let me tell you all the information about these bags that Ultra should have told you, but they didn't tell you. So we'll start with the materials. Slow side material on this. This is basically your Pro Advantage carpet. It's very similar to, I don't know if it's the exact same material. It might be just a touch different, but from what I can tell, it's almost identical to it. It feels like it. It plays like it. I'm going to call it that Pro Advantage material. When it's new, it's a little fast. It'll play like a 6-speed, maybe 5-speed, brand new. As it starts to break down, fuzz up wearing it, it's really more like a 4-speed. It's a very controllable material. It's actually a pretty hole-friendly material for being a 4-speed on this. So you're looking at about a 4-speed on the slow side once the bags break down. Now, something else Ultra mentioned when they first released his bags, so they said that these bags were coated with Slinky Tech. But again, they gave no information about Slinky Tech. In fact, they put out a video that was making fun of Slinky Tech. So I don't know if it's really legit, because the bag doesn't say Slinky Tech on anywhere. The website says not by Slinky Tech. I don't know if they were just kind of having fun at the expense of Contraband Athletics and Tony Smith and Jay Prisky. And they talk about the Slinky bags. They have they use Slinky bags referring to bags that melt in the hole. And so I don't know if Ultra was just kind of mocking that or what, because the video they put out was somewhat funny, but at that point in time, I wanted information on what Slinky Tech is. I don't really know if Slinky Tech is real or exists. To me, this bag plays no different than what you get on a Reynolds Pro Advantage or Pro X, something like that. So if it is something, it really doesn't make a difference. Anyway, 4-speed on the slow side here. Fast side, this is that same fast side you find on the regular Psycho. It's the Game Changer Surefire fast side. It's like a 8.5 speed material. It's fast. It's like the boards, push or anything. It's looking about a 4, 8.5 speed on this. Template wise, this is a larger template bag. It really is. I mean, it's not as big as, like, say the regular Game Changer is, but it's getting there. It's one of the bigger bags that we have out there. Really large bag. It's actually got a lot of fill in it as well, but because it's so large, it's still quite floppy, right? So it's a larger floppy bag, which is fine. I mean, for me as a carpet bag, I think I would rather have had a little bit, I don't mind the fullness. I would rather have had a smaller template, a little bit smaller, more of a medium to medium small template for carpet bag, a little more control. It's fine for the way you can play it. It's fine. I don't have an issue with the template size completely. So a larger template bag. It's got a medium amount of fill in there. It's a lot of fill. It's a mixed fill in here. There's quite a few beads. I feel like there's a little bit more beads in this bag than you typically find in a regular ultra bag. I don't know. I could just be speculating. I don't throw a lot of ultra bags anymore, but it's a mixed fill in here. So large template, mixed fill, 8.5 speed bag, which leads me to playability on this. And this is really it's actually a pretty versatile bag in the sense that this material, I like this carpet material. I've always liked the Pro Advantages. They've been one of my favorite carpet bags. And this bag actually with these two materials is closer to the Pro X. The Reynolds Pro X is a Pro Advantage. Same materials you find on the Pro X, you find on this. The Pro X is a little smaller template, has them all bead fill, doesn't have a mixed fill in it. But this is a material that you can control. You can throw blockers up there. You can play the dirty style game. I don't know if this bag, this bag is definitely a rollable, floppable, cuttable bag, but because it's so large and it's got a lot of flop to it, it's not as controllable as like the Reynolds Pro X is, right? And then that's where I think you take some of that flop out. It makes the bag a little bit easier to roll, a little easier to flop, a little easier to cut. Again, if you can roll, flop, cut bags, you could do it with this. Just you're not making those really hard cuts that you would with a more traditional carpet bag. If you're not an average roll bag player, you're just trying to learn. This is probably not a great bag to learn on, just because the flop in it's gonna make it a little tougher if you don't get that. And the larger template makes it hard to get that bag backload a little more. Even when I go to lock it down my butterfly grip, there's still a lot of movement here because there's not a lot of fill, so I don't have as much control of this bag as I would over a little bit smaller template bag. But it is a bag you can cut, right? You can throw a blocker up there, you can cut around it, you can roll it, you can flop it. I will say that because of the size of the template, being a large template bag, it makes a phenomenal blocker. I mean, it takes up a lot of space. It blocks that hole. That's one thing it really excels at. As you throw that bag up there, you don't even have to get that aggressive. You put it kind of down the middle, and you've really got the whole block. Great bag for collecting because it is so full. You clip a corner, it'll go right in. It takes the bag in. Now, on the collector side, one thing I will say is because these bags are so big and full, they do want a bunch. They will clog the hole. And I found the clogging happen when I had two bags. Let's say there's two bags that are side by side, and I tried to bring a third bag down the middle to collect them, and it would just wedge in, and then they would just clog up and bunch and just lock up in the hole, and you're not putting them in at that point. Once you got three bags, you're not putting them in. So I found that when I was playing this bag is if I had a blocker up there, I wanted my next bag to either go around it in the hole, or I wanted to push and replace or push through. I didn't want to end up with multiple blockers up there, because if that happened, I wasn't going to be able to collect both the same. I don't have to pick one off at a time. If you like to throw, multiple blockers up there, really block the whole hole, and then come through and try to collect them down the middle, this is not a bag that's going to do that. It will bunch. But that's also a good thing in the sense that if you are ahead in the round and you can play that clogging of the hole to your advantage, you can really, if you're up, your opponent's got a bag, say you throw a block up, your opponent throws an air mail off the back, you get one in, maybe they throw a back blocker, you can come in, or they throw a side by side, you can come in the middle, split them, wedge these three bags in there. Now you've got a bag in the hole. They're not putting it back in the hole. You now have points in that round. So you can play the clog to your advantage. And this is definitely a bag you can do that with. But all in all, I was really pleased with the way the bag played. I mean, again, this material is very hole friendly. This fast side is exceptionally hole friendly. This material is actually pretty hole friendly, and the flop of it really made it more forgiving around the hole. Because as that bag went up there, it's not as floppy as you would like a little bit looser or faster bag. Like that corner doesn't dip as much, but I could get it to grab the hole more so than I would a typical carpet bag. So it gives you a little bit wider landing zone, a little more forgiveness around the hole than what you would say get with a Reynolds Pro X along that line. But it's, again, it is a carpet bag. It's a fuller bag. It's not going to grab the hole like a floppier, faster bag would. Be aware of that. But if I could get it to grab the hole and spin around, it would melt back in with enough speed. Now, once I had a bag sitting there, they seem to be a little tougher to collect, because if a bag was sitting, especially on the back, I really had to get aggressive with the air mail if I wanted to bring it in, because just throwing a bag in wasn't really going to bring it in necessarily. If I had a bag on the side, I had to be careful, because again, if I came with the cut across the board on the other side to collect it, good chance they were going to bunch there, and then it was going to be tough to bring those bags in. So you have to be a little bit more particular about how you go about collecting these bags. But all in all, I mean, playability-wise, I think they're great. I really enjoy throwing them. And you can even run them hole for hole, because this material is very hole-friendly. If you're on faster boards, or if you're a harder thrower, you can really throw this hole for hole. Now, if you are a regular Psycho thrower, I don't think you're going to like this bag. If you like the Psycho X, I think you'll like this bag. This is closer to the Psycho X as a regular Psycho. But again, like I said, Faster board conditions, they're phenomenal. Hard throwers, I think they play great. If you like throwing carpet bags, I think you'll like this. I mean, to me, this is a better attempt at a traditional carpet bag by Ultra than the Mojo was. It's still not quite where I want it to be. Like I said, I would like to have just a hair smaller template, a little fuller bag, a little less flop, a little more flow, so I have more control. I could do more with it. But all in all, I was actually surprised with the way the bag played. I actually enjoyed playing it. And for playability wise, I would definitely recommend this bag. Now, let's jump into availability. Before you go out and buy them, let me get into availability. Ultra has a website, ultracornhole.com. Most of you know about that. That's where they do their releases, their drops. You can buy the bags on there. And when they release these bags, Ultra has a weird pricing thing. When they release bags brand new, they usually have the price on sale, and then they gradually creep the price back up. These retail on their site for $135 is the regular price on them, which is very steep. Ultra is one of the highest price bags out there because you got $135 plus. I think it's like $13 for shipping, so it's $148 for set of bags, almost $158, over $150 with taxes and all in this. It's very pricey now. If you were looking to buy these, I would wait till they release a second colorway. When they call it a second colorway, they'll probably drop those prices back down to like $90, $95 for the release, and then you can get a set and try them out. But in all honesty, if you like the sounds of this bag, I would say go buy a set of Pro X's from Reynolds. These are like $60, $70 for a set of these. Half the price of this. To me, this is the only difference. These bags, this is a little bit smaller template. This is 100% bead fill, and this is mixed fill. That's really the only difference. Same materials on them, same playability. In fact, this bag is going to play a little bit more control style, a little bit easier to cut, roll, flops like that. So I would say if you haven't thrown the Pro X yet, buy a set of Pro X's, make sure you like them. If you like these materials and you want to try the Psycho Rs, then go for it. I mean, they are a little different. They're going to play a little differently. But I wouldn't spend the full $135 or $150 all total or whatever it is to buy these. I just don't think they're worth it for that aspect of it. If you throw in the Psycho Rs, I'd love to hear your feedback. I'd love to hear how they're playing for you guys. I always love hearing your feedback, and I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope this is the information you were looking for. I hope this answers a lot of questions you guys have. I thank you guys so much for support, and I thank you for watching.